Okay. So speaking of trash, we are going to, I shouldn't say that, whatever. Everyone works hard, right? We're going to go over and show the Stranger Things 4 trailer. It is it is coming out, I believe, May 27th. It's going to be premiering on Netflix. And it's coming in 2 parts. I don't know whether both parts, I assume that they will be released separately, separated by a few months, probably. But classically, the entire series has dropped at once. So that's, I don't know. That's something, they were actually talking about it tonight on FNT. And I've learned that I like shows one by one because I like the anticipation. It's how I grew up watching shows. On Friday nights, my dad and I would do the Friday night Fox run. It was like, oh God, this is dating me, but I think 7 o'clock was, what was this thing? What was the show called? Strange Luck. 8 o'clock was Sliders. 9 o'clock was X-Files. Like in every week, that was our ritual. New show. And they just like when they drop these shows to binge, it just doesn't seem to give the same, not the same anticipation. Like they can be lazy with their writing. They don't have to like keep the story moving, because they could just, we just go right to the next one. I can see what happens. It doesn't have to be suspenseful.
Well, number one, I'd like to tip my hat to you, sir, to reference one of the greatest shows from the 90s that never got a second season. With
Strange Luck.
DB Sweeney as Chance Harper in Strange Luck. If you take the first 2 seasons of Millennium were amazing. The third season was such an incredible disappointment.
They blew it, man.
Fox, and for any of you that weren't around in the 90s or paying attention, Fox had a series of great shows. Harsh Realm was an excellent show that only had 1 season.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Brimstone was a phenomenal show. Beautiful concept that only had 1 season. Strange Luck had a great concept and a good cast that only had 1 season. Millennium was amazing. Had 3 seasons. The first 2 are awesome.
Millennium theme song still gives me goosebumps.
Oh, dude. This is who we are.
Yeah.
That intro was awesome. Mm-hmm. But it was a different world. Strange. I'll be honest. Stranger Things episode or seasons 1 and season 2, it brought me back a little bit to that. Season 3, I started drifting a little bit because it was like they started injecting a little bit of stuff into it that was just like, that whole bathroom sequence where the girl was like, "Oh, and I saw you with her, and it upset me because I liked her." Like,
right?
No,
that insufferable girl who just wouldn't shut up.
Yes, nobody in the 80s talked like that. I'm sorry, I was there.
Yeah, it was the first. I see the first 2 seasons were pretty good. The third just, like I said, they were leaning too much into like the 80s nostalgia, and it got to be obnoxious. And and then they started, they were doing things, in those sort of like weird progressive woke ways that I don't know. Like Steve, there's continually beating the piss out of Steve Harrington for no reason, and then not like, I don't know. It's just weird. Things happen because they have to, not because they should or they would logically in a certain way.
At what point did Steve go from the badass wielding the bat to the blunt of the joke? And not just the joke, but every joke.
Right. And it was pretty sad to see because the writing in the first 2 seasons I thought was pretty solid. The only, I think was the second season where Eleven just disappears for like 3 episodes and she's like a little punk or something like that for like that
second season. Yeah,
that was a weird twist, but
that was awkward. That was really awkward.
But I mean, they were fun, and like so we're gonna take a look at this trailer now and kind of see what's to expect from season 4. I only watched like the first 30 seconds of this trailer, so I don't really know what to expect. All right. So
broken everything.
So this was right at the end of season 3 where they're using this machine to try and cut a hole into the Upside Down, right? For some reason, we don't know why. Right, the Russians are cutting a hole into the Upside Down for reasons we don't know.
Because Russians.
Yes. Well, because Russians, and somehow they had built a secret, massive particle collider underneath a rural mall in the middle of nowhere in the center of America, and nobody was aware of it
Within like the time span of like 3 months.
Right.
Yes.
Like
it makes total sense.
Construction workers talk, bud, unless you executed them all.
Could be.
No, I'm assuming they did it like Great Escape style. Like while they were playing volleyball, they were having the people that were digging the tunnel like shaking dirt out of their pant leg while they were walking around the court. That's just probably how they dug it all out.
Right.
It's a lot of dirt and stone and other things.
Your suffering is almost at an end.
See, in the weird, like, so they introduce a new villain, right? So this humanoid looking thing, at least that's what it looked like to me. Like it has, eyes like a human, kind of looks like a skull with skin stretched over it.
It's a lich.
It's just I don't know. It's
probably a representation of Billy from the Upside Down.
Oh,
that's my take on it. It's going to be because they've gone through they're using D&D, right? They're using D&D for their big baddies. So first they had the Demigorgon, then they had, I can't remember what they called the last season. Yeah, the Mind Flayer. Yeah. So this is going to be like a Lich or a Lich King, and it's going to be Billy. And it's Billy pulled over, and it's just pure negativity, right? And that's going to be the arc, because they've already said they're going to focus on Sam, his sister, and she's going to be the focus. It's no longer 11. She's going to be the focus in the first few episodes. So it's all going to be about Sam, and then it's all going to be the crux is all going to revolve around Billy. That's my guess.
Okay.
So my theory was that the doctor that did the whole experiments on 11.
Yeah.
Like we don't really. Yeah, I thought it might be him, because I mean, like, yeah, we technically see him die in the first season, but yeah, he could still be alive.
I don't know if they're that good with their writing.
Yeah, good point.
All right, let's keep this going, because I like I said, I haven't really watched this fully, so. Netflix. Oh. Okay, yeah. There's a shot of Sam.
Dear Billy, I don't know if you can even hear this.
See, and that's an interesting, I don't know if you can hear this. So, yeah, I guess your theory of, well, that could be him makes sense, because maybe she's trying to speak to him, and maybe like right after that shot, we would see the first, like in the show, you'd actually see a picture of him or a version of him in the Upside Down.
Ever since you left, everything's been a total disaster. For a while, we tried to be happy. Normal.
I also hope these kids are actually like in high school now, because I mean, even last season, they looked like 17, 18 years old, and they're trying to pass them off as like 7th graders or something, weren't they? Weren't they still like trying to be really young in the last one?
I know that's impossible.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the 80s song. They did tease that he was still alive at the end of the last season, right? I'm not crazy. Because they made it seem like he had died, and then I think it was either post credits or something, they had flashed to him like outside in like a Russian camp or something like that. The one thing I do like about these shows is like the clock stuck in the wall. Like they always have something like that. in each season, it seems like some like, what's the word? Some totem of some sort that's like, it means something. It's the draw point or the inflection point of realities and whatnot. And and obviously that's going to, it feels like the clock is going to be some big thing in this one, obviously. Because we saw it in the attic to start, and now it's like jammed into that wall.
I would just like to say, did you actually pause it in the middle of Journey's Separate Ways?
I know, I'm sorry. But also another comment on that is, again,
do not talk shit about Steve Perry, or I will knife fight you.
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. I love him.
I will pay to see this knife fight.
And even the Thai guy who took his place sounds just like him.
Oh no, he might as well be Stephen Perry. He is Stephen. Who cares? He sounds the same. That's all that matters.
He's Stephen Grant to Perry.
They're just leaning. They lean so hard into the 80s nostalgia. You know, it's like with every season's had like a song that they play, and it's like, oh, okay. Even though I love, Separate Ways is great.
I relocated you guys far from Hawkins.
Who's that?
Because I thought you'd be safe. A war is coming.
A war.
I'm afraid your friends at Hawkins are very much.
This poor kid. He's such a funky looking kid.
A war is coming. A cold war.
Is that Optimus Prime?
I don't know.
A war is coming.
Oh my god! If they got Optimus in here, hell yeah!
Of the storm.
I don't have my powers.
Wait, why doesn't she have her powers? How did she lose them?
She lost her powers at the end of the last season.
Yeah,
she did.
Right off the mind flare. But hey, I bet I know what's going to happen in the last episode of the first part. She's going to get him back.
Spoiler alert.
I'm not trying to be, keep it paused right there. Yeah. I'm not trying to be negative here, but isn't this this actor's name? It's Wolf something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's something wrong when he's looking more like Winona Ryder than Winona Ryder.
I know, right?
I was playing.
Oh man. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, the trailer is, it's classic Stranger Things at this point. This is all new stuff for me. I do like, the Duffer Brothers, I do like they have, I feel like their cinematography is pretty good, especially like how they sort of blend like the upside down stuff. Cause they'll do that camera tilt, and they've done it a few times in this, but they always seem to have like some really good, like eyes, or, whoever's the, I guess it would be the director of photography. Is that who does all this cinematographer? But I mean, I feel like these shows definitely have really great cinematography. It's just the story at this point. It just seems like, well, maybe we should have just done 2 seasons or even 1. This would have been a great show to end after 1, but I don't know. Seems like it's getting a little thin.
I don't know how to say this other than just to say it. Without you, we can't win this war.
And it's interesting that they're saying we can't win oh, nice pause. We can't win this without you. Pause. Wow, what is his name? Why can't I think of it?
I missed
this guy. Who is this? This actor.
I don't know who that is.
That's Optimus Prime.
It's not Optimus Prime.
They always have these particular actors, like, because they had Sean Astin, they had Matthew Modine, they had a guy from the last season who kind of had that filled this place. It's like an older actor from this era. So it's interesting they picked him up. But
they had the guy who played the lover in the Princess Bride in the last season. I can't remember his name. But the guy who says "as you wish" all the time.
Oh, Carrie Elwes.
Yeah, that was in the last season.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
See it? Man. This is telling. It's been that long that we can't remember. This is why this show is not like. does everybody, I don't know, maybe not everybody, but after everybody was talking about this show after season 1. Like it was so good. Season 1 was ridiculously good. It came out of nowhere. Season 2 was not what you expected, but was still enjoyable. You still went like, wow. And like you moved, like you watched it. And then season 3 dropped and it's like, everybody kind of went, yeah. Did you watch it? Yeah, I did. And now enough time's gone by and season 3 didn't have enough resonance that's how much it's dropped off the map is that we can't even remember who was in season 3. Right. And we all kind of looked at it. At least I did. I refreshed my, went back and like watched a few clips here and there. And it was like, oh yeah. Okay. But it slips the mind. It's just, it wasn't memorable.
Yeah. Carrios was the newspaper guy. He was the crooked boss or was he the mayor? Fuck.
He was the mayor.
Mayor. Sorry. Yeah. He was the mayor.
Who sold the land to the Russians.
Right. Yep. Okay. I remember. Oh, flying things now.
See you on the other side.
On the other side.
Interesting.
I was convinced I was put here for some other reason.
Oh boy.
Maybe I can still help. Even if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, was he doing a little trial by combat? Is that what's oh no. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's happening? I gotta see this. No way. What? For real? He's fighting demigorgons in Russia in his camp?
Yeah, they show at the end of season 3. They
fed they're like opening portals and making people fight shit that's coming through.
But why? You know what I mean? It's like, why?
What? Okay. To a degree, the rule of cool applies here. Whether it makes sense or not, if you can make it look cool enough, it doesn't really matter.
Why? Yeah.
The why matters less than the cool. But here's the thing. Again, if we're back in the 4-channel days, rule of cool, just make it cool. Now you actually have to weave it into the story. It has to make sense. How are they opening and closing the portal? How are they explicitly bringing out one creature at a time? How is that creature not trying to breach the portal as soon as they come through? There's a whole bunch of questions that need to be answered. But if they're like, if they send a team in and they capture one of these things and drag it out and then make people fight it to find its weak, I don't know, like that can work.
I'm expecting
there's a part of me there's part of me that kind of wants to see like a Sheriff Hooper with like a metal pipe just beating the hell out of a demigorgon in a ring and like, is this not what you want?
Right.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Bonking with a damn shovel. Hell yeah. I'd watch that. I watched that episode again.
You know what I think it is for me? And and we have 1 minute left of this trailer, probably more like 30 or 40 seconds. But there's too many characters. Like, is it just me or is there too many fucking people to keep track of at this point?
They keep expanding the cast and it's characters I don't like.
And and the first season was perfect because it was 3, the 4 boys, 1, that was captured, and 11. And then, but you were focused on what the boys were doing, right? It was like the Hardy Boys, like mystery solving. What happened? What are we doing? Who are we fighting against insurmountable odds, kids versus, shadow government, like these weird, like shadow companies.
Yeah. And then they put way too much focus on the families. Like the parents, it's like, I don't care. No one cares about these parents.
Yeah, you have dozens of kids, and it's getting confusing. Like, who am I supposed to be focusing on? Who is this about? There's not a clear protagonist. There's obviously always a clear antagonist. Being the Demigorgon or the Mind Flayer or whoever.
Puberty.
But what's that?
Puberty.
Yeah, puberty is the enemy. It's such a. The shows are good. They're good, but they're definitely not great anymore. And it doesn't look like this one's going to improve much on the last season. But I don't know. Let's get a couple more seconds in here. And a new character. Who the fuck was that? Magician dude.
People say Hawkins.
Oh, and they're de-aging 11. We're gonna get more backstory on 11. Okay.
I think that's just flashback.
I don't know. It looks like brand new footage, but
I can see a flashback.
I mean, it could be. And she's got powers now, so they transferred over to her.
The power of the ginger. Way off.
What is this, dude? What the fuck?
No, this is the most accurate 80s thing you could possibly do is the close up on the fretboard as he's playing. How could you
like this has to be just for the trailer. There's no way this is in the show.
No, you gotta have like the rock moment. Absolutely. Why not? They haven't done that.
Battle of the Bands with the Mind Flayer.
Aldous, I love you, and this is why I love you, because I know that you're not serious, but it's just for people who don't know you, they probably think you are. This is, dude, I can't.
Dude, have you not seen Mars Attacks? That's how they beat the Martians, playing really.
No, whoa. That was excellent yodeling, and you can't go wrong with that. But no, this is
species.
So to be 100%, no, this is pure 80s to have this moment in it. And I'm sure at some point they're in high school, they're going to go to see a band play. And if you're going to go see a band play, there's nothing more 80s than to focus intensely on a really mediocre guitar riff as the guy is flailing his hair around with bandanas and stuff. And it's just him playing like ACF, it's
he's just playing Hot Cross Buns.
Right.
Yeah, I backed it up a touch just so I can see this fucking guitar solo again. Oh, it's Steve.
It's time.
Okay, the ending's cool.
As it always.
The ending that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool ending. The one great thing about this trailer is like the cuts are good, like the editing's pretty good. The music, just like the sound design between like how they sort of enhance the song and the percussion and Steve Perry's vocals, they do an amazing job. I hope this is the end, though. I'm going to keep it 100 for everyone. I hope this is the end of Stranger Things. I don't think there's a need to go on anymore. They're
gonna do one more after this, guaranteed. Because
aren't they doing like a 2-part season for this?
Well, no, it is a 2-parter, but they're going to do one more after this because everything always gets pushed. Now everything always gets pushed further than it needs to. Nobody Nobody knows when to stop something good.
So it's going to be like an unneeded epilogue
on
top of an epilogue.
Yep, and it'll more than likely it will ruin the show.
Or you know what?
It'll be this.
Here's my prediction. This is what they're going to do. They're going to finish off the part 1, part 2 of this season. And then in 10 years, they're going to make a movie with these kids, with the same kids. And it's going to be them as adults with one more attack, either onto or from the Upside Down. I would almost bet money that's what happens. Because
I have no confirmation of this other than I could wake Mrs. Aldous up right now and throw her on the mic. But I said that after season 2, I said, I think these guys are just trying to redo it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course that's what I thought of, but I just see that happening. Like, I mean, one, because that's just what you do. You resurrect dead franchises and put a meaningless movie at the end. And I just, that would work here, but I hope they don't. Like I said, I think this will be enough.